if you're new to the channel, my name is Jeroen Mul. I'm a professional racing driver working and racing for Lamborghini and doing all sorts of cool stuff with supercars. And today, as you can see, we're back on the RDW Proving Ground here for the second Streetgasm Driving Academy Drift Day. The Drift Day where we teach everybody to drift their supercars. Now, as you can see, we have the sun out. We have a beautiful wet patch here on this RDW Proving Ground where we can really teach people how to go completely sideways and control their supercars to the limit. And just look at the quality of cars that we have here today. We have this gorgeous new M5. We have a McLaren 650 S Spider. We have an A12, we have an SVJ, we have absolutely every supercar from every brand, 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, V12, V8, mid-engine, front engine. This is just the biggest drifting candy store, and I think I've never seen a lineup like this on an event like that. So it's absolutely unique what we've done here with Streetgasm. And just look at how these cars are going sideways, and it's so cool to see people and just having fun with them like that. You don't see that anywhere else. And here, you know, the tires are not degrading that much. There's nothing to hit, and we can truly teach people how to control these cars to the limit, where they can enjoy them also on the road. So let's go into this day and see what we can drift.
She's a roller coaster. Oh, she's so flame. I'm burning up inside, but I can feel no pain. I won't try to stop her. She can't be tamed. I'm so in love with her. I fall and try again. Get up and try.
All right, so we're in Mr. Streetgasm's Porsche 911 GT3 RS to show you this exercise that we do here in the morning. So to start off, we have set up these two corners, one left, one right, just a nice big U-turn to basically start sliding around and get the initial techniques of power sliding a car around this corner under control. So as we're going to take this car for a little demo, I'm going to explain to you exactly how this works. So we're just slowly going to drive in first gear, nice and easy, 30 kilometers an hour, lift off completely, turn in, hit the power to get the car sideways. As soon as the car goes sideways, we need to counter steer, obviously, to counter for the sideways motion of the car, then apply some more throttle to maintain the power slide and bring the car back nicely into a straight line at the end. All looks very simple, sounds very simple, but it's definitely something you need to get used to and familiar, especially because it's so car specific. This 911 GT3 RS has 4-wheel steering, it has a very fast steering rack, and obviously the engine in the back, making this car very snappy. That A12 in front of us is even more snappy with that high revving, high pitched V12 and not so much steering lock left to right. So every car is so specific in the technique that you need to use, and that's why it's so important that everybody here that drives these cars on a daily basis and want to enjoy them to the max experience these techniques and learn these techniques in their own car, because it's so car specific. So here we go again, and on top of that, it's just so much fun. So I'm gonna take this opportunity and drift around the GT3 RS a little bit more. Who doesn't love that? So I thought I'd take the opportunity of this lunch break yet again to show you what kind of cars our customers have brought, and this time the lineup is even crazier, and it's also very interesting to have a look at all the different kinds of supercars and the different techniques that are needed to make sure that you can drift all of these. So obviously BMW M's are always a good choice and a very favorite choice. So we have a nice array of M4 competitions, a brand new M5, and even a gorgeous M4 CS. Beautiful spec and definitely a car that is very easy and a lot of fun to drift. Front engined, rear wheel drive, nice coupe, and we're going to take out the beautiful red M4 supplied by Acris a little later on to show you the track that we're going to set up in the afternoon. Next up, we have something completely different, a 911 Turbo S, the Mark II 991 Turbo S, 580 horsepower. This one even fitted with a nice custom Akrapovic exhaust, four-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, and a turbocharged engine. So very tricky, very much rear biased because of all the weight of the engine in the rear, but still you have the front wheel drive that you need to be in mind of, because as soon as you go on the power, when the car goes sideways and the car starts to send power to those front wheels, the car is going to pull itself in the direction where your wheels are pointing. So instead of having full opposite lock like you would do with one of the BMW M cars, which are true rear wheel drive, in this one you need to always make sure that your wheels are kind of pointing in the direction you want to go, because that's where the car's eventually gonna pull you. Definitely a very interesting car, beautiful all-day supercar, and also a car you can go very well sideways with. Here we have the British McLaren 650S Spider, yet another kind of supercar, and also very tricky to drift because obviously it's mid-engined supercar with a carbon fiber tub, which makes it very twitchy and twisty and snappy when you start to oversteer it. But on top of that, it has an open differential. So instead of having a limited slip differential, making sure that both wheels are spinning at the same speed, this car is notorious for having an open differential, making it even a little bit more tricky to make sure that it stays in that sideways motion. And on top of that, McLaren has made it quite difficult to switch off all the systems, but we found that button and we've made sure that this one goes sideways very well as well. Then next to that, another car that definitely loves to drift, the AMG GTR. In this spec, beautifully in red with the mid front engine mount 4-liter twin turbo V8, a lot of power, rear wheel steering and rear wheel drive. The rear wheel steering in this car particularly makes it very easy to start to drift because the rear end is rotating so nicely with the wheels going in the opposite direction at slow speeds. Very nicely balanced, can do beautiful drifts, but you need to be aware of your throttle movement because a little bit too much can make the car spin out immediately. And we have another 911. This one is a little bit more straightforward as it is a two-wheel drive GTS with the turbocharged engine, so it does have a little bit of turbo lag, making that a little bit tricky, but it is only rear-wheel drive, so that way it's a little bit more straightforward. Then some more BMW M's to complete the lineup. You can't have enough of those on a drift day, obviously, but what we're here for are the more exotic cars, and those are over there. So if you're talking about exotic supercar drifting, I don't think it's gonna get any better than this. Check this out. We have a brand new Aventador SVJ, definitely something that's up my alley. 770 horsepower, four-wheel drive, 6.5 liter V12, crazy machine. As I showed last time, the Aventador S does very well go sideways. And this one does it even better, and it looks even better as well with this striking matte wrap paint job. Absolute legend, the owner of this car, bringing it out here, going absolutely crazy sideways. We're going to see more of that later on. And then next to that we have kind of the V12 competitor, definitely a very different car, but in this sort of same area, the Ferrari A12 Superfast. Front mid-engined 6.5 liter V12 as well with 800 horsepower, sending all that power only to the rear wheels with rear wheel steering as well. A very fast steering rack, so very tricky car to handle. I think we have the most amazing lineup here for this second edition of the Streetgasm Driving Academy, Drifting Day, the Drift Academy, where we teach everybody to drift their supercars. We're gonna take a little break, have a little bit of lunch, get ourselves ready, prepare the track after the exercises we had this morning, and then go back out and get these cars going sideways very, very well. So for the afternoon, we have made things a little bit more tricky and more exciting by setting up a full track. So we have multiple corners linked to each other, where we really have to start combining drifts to the left with drifts to the right. So really sliding from one corner to the other, using the weight transfer of the car to make the car go sideways through the entire parkour. Now, to show you the little track that we've set up, I've chosen pretty much the best drift machine out here, and that is the BMW M. This one kindly supplied by Acris BMW, and I'm gonna take this out for a little spin to show you exactly where this track goes, and also try to explain you as much as possible and as good as possible what techniques I use to make sure that we slide this thing around nicely. So I'm gonna use second gear, turn it nice and easy, hit the power to get it sideways, stay on the power nice and smooth, make the transition, catch it, look where you want to go, always turn the wheel in the direction you want to go, stay on the power in the transition, nice and smooth, get on the inside line, changing the green M4 convertible, back to the left, straightening out, finishing the track in a nice straight line. Looks easy, but it's definitely very tricky and something you need quite a lot of experience to do, but this machine makes it look very easy as well, with the electronic limited slip differential in the back, the 450 horsepower that this engine has. Yeah, this is a true drift machine and a car that's a lot of fun to drive. So we really try to teach people and get people to the level where they can take their cars here and drift this track all at once. And it is impressive to see what the level of this group is that we have here today, drifting absolutely everything from a Ferrari A12 to a McLaren 650S Spider. We have had an Aventador SVJ going completely sideways, which I also was very kindly allowed by the owner to take it out for a spin and show what that car is capable of. But at the end of the day, you can just have so much fun with a rear-wheel drive M4 like this. Let's just do one more, I think.